Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series fires things off for the midway point here in season number 9. Qualifying already behind us. We're going to transition quickly trackside for your national anthem. Track temperature under 90 degrees. There should be a lot of grip out here tonight for these Hauck Designs Xfinity Series drivers. How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, let's drop that qualifying information just to the left-hand side of your screen. There you can see Brandon Mathia, top of the speed charts, quick time for the number 1, 30:67, and he will lead us to the green flag here tonight. We're going to quickly step away to a commercial break in trackside for the national anthem, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with the Pit Boss 177.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
In back live trackside, as the sun begins to set in the background, we're going to finish things under the lights here tonight at Kansas Speedway for the Pit Boss 177. Final few drivers making their way to the starting grid. So what do you say we get a little closer to the field, have a little look at your starting lineup as we await the final few drivers? Let's throw a little official business your way. What do you say coming into tonight's race? 5 weeks into the season, Derek Moore, Daniel Jensen tied at the top of the point standings. Argabright Burlow right there behind, 1 and 7 points back. How about Coro and Wiggins knotted up 9 points out of the overall championship lead? Bledsoe and Miller back there going at it as well, 9th and 10th. 17 points knotted up. There's a lot of close battles. Abati and McConville battling 14th and 15th. Ramos, a good race for Ramos, and that's going to catapult him through the standings as well. So a lot on the line as we reach the halfway point here tonight in the Pit Boss 177 for the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. Man, how are these pit stops going to work? Drivers have 5 sets of tires here tonight. I don't believe you're going to have 5 rounds of green flag pit stops. So we should see fast cars all night long. The temperature will continue to drop as the field awaits the word to roll off of pit road. Looks like the final drivers working their way onto the track. And just like that, ready to roll off of pit road. You can hear the familiar sounds in the background. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Pit Boss 177, starting inside row number 1, back behind the wheel of that number 1 QT machine. Quick time and qualifying, Brendan Mathia. Alan Bledsoe just to his outside with Derek Moore and Daniel Jensen. Rounding out row number 2, Abati and Gage. Back in row number 3, Burlow and Shook making up row number 4. Row number 5 here tonight from Kansas Speedway, Cody Schultz, followed by the 11 of Alex Wiggins. Doug Arga Brighton, Brian Chanowski back in row number 6, and in row number 7 tonight from Kansas Speedway, inside the 99 machine, Nicholas Wing and McConnell. Zach Miller and John Timms back in row 8 and row number 9. Finishing out the field tonight, Lieutenant Carlos Ramos and TJ Gruber back to the point. We are ready to roll. Music will fade, and we'll get things underway here tonight. Brendan Mathia gonna bring us to the green flag for the first time here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Green flag flies. Tight battles on the opening lap can be expected. Side by side, race leader top of the racetrack, 24 Bledsoe gonna follow suit. More still digging on the bottom. Hornet's Nest back here. Let's go check out Daniel Jensen, Nick Burlow, Dave Gage right here, as well as Mathia. Secures that top spot. Bledsoe gonna fall back into the 3rd position, into the clutches of the 45 of Abati. Turn 2 quickly here tonight. Drivers looking for single file lines, but not going to be afforded the luxury just yet. 24 Bledsoe, front of the field, looking for some headway. Not going to make any lanes. As more wisely stops the run. We're going to take a little look back here. Once again, let's watch these drivers battling it out for some pointless inside of your top 5 off of turn number 2. Coming at you down the back stretch and into 3. The 3 goes on the board. A little bit of a moment there. Brian Chanowski with a bit of a moment. As that original pack goes single file, let's take a look at the kerfuffle back here with the Lieutenant Carlos Ramos, bottom of the racetrack at 97. Looking for positions, Nicholas Wing just to his outside with Cody Schultz showing the way on the bottom. The 10 of Andrew McConville looking for some room. Top side of the racetrack. Here comes the Monster Energy, 21 of Anthony Shook. Looking to the inside, Shook looking to get back to victory lane. He is one of our previous race winners. So we'll see if that 21 can make some headway here tonight. Still very early. And as we work our way around the track, back down into turn number 3, going to complete lap number 5. We'll drop that timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find your favorite driver here tonight. Follow along just like we do here in the production. Whoa, big moment there for Daniel Jensen. Front of the field, starting to go single file, starting to stretch themselves out 3 wide in the middle of his field. My goodness. Ramos saw the opportunity, pounced on it. 77 of Tim's looks like he had an opportunity to maybe make another 3 wide situation. We got one brewing here out of turn 4. Single file for the majority of this field, watching the closest battle on the racetrack, and Ramos going to pull a little bit of a disappearing act, so we'll keep our eye on that 5 of Cody Schultz, making his way around the track top side of the raceway. Ooh, shook with a moment, almost into that outside wall, so the 5 car high look continues to run, speeds upwards of about 170 miles an hour, getting down into the corner. There's a little bit of time for the time being. We'll see if these guys can't sort things out. Meanwhile, from the field, let's go back up here. Avanti and Bledsoe. Still not satisfied is Avanti, still trying to get that Red Mist podcast. Camaro up into a podium position. He's got a hard fought battle behind him. Alex Wiggins looking to the inside of the racetrack. The number 151 of Burlow to the top. We do high above the track, just a little bird's eye view for a moment here with the turn 3 drone cam tonight. Big shout out to our buddy Joe Hugo down there, manning the turn 3 drone cam for us tonight from Kansas Speedway. We'll jump the track side once again. Q1 able to keep it wound up at the top side of the racetrack. The Michigan National Championship sponsored 11 machine. Alex Wiggins looking to solidify his season. Right, you heard it in pre-race. Coming into tonight's race, just 9 points back. Not enough for, I believe it's going to be 5th when it's all said and done. Oh, little contact with the outside wall for the 51. That's going to open up the door for Wiggins to pick up a position. Still a hard-fought battle going on back here. Let's keep our eyes back here for a moment, guys. Let's watch this battle unfold. Miller, Grover, McConville, Shook, Jensen all involved in this battle at the tail end of the field. But a lot on the line for these drivers. Coming into tonight's race, this is the midway race. This is race number 6 out of the 12-week season. And Wiggins has just been consistent. Right, he's had a handful of top 10s looking to get that podium, looking to get that race-winning performance. We seen last week Nicholas Wing at Kern County Raceway. My goodness, Kern was an amazing night of racing. If you missed it, check it out. Look back, you can find it in the playlist with the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with 13 laps deep. Here tonight, side-by-side action. Just outside of the top 10. A little bit moving. Shaking. Right around that 5th position now. There you can see that Mobile 1 machine of Burlow starting to close in, bringing along the 404 of Dave Page. Gage looking to have a good night here as well. He's been a little bit off as far as the season has been concerned. Gage coming into tonight's race, 11 points out. And that goes to say something as well. You've been having a little off season and you're still only 11 points out of the overall championship lead coming into the halfway point. The PR Taco Palace and Margarita Bar, 404. Looking for a little bit more right now. Dropped a spot from where he qualified. Started in 6th, currently running in that 7th position. But with a very long way still ahead of us here tonight. We've still got about 103 laps remaining. A little too early to think pit stops. Only 16 laps into tonight's green flag run for the start of tonight's race. So I think it's a little too early to think about it. I think maybe 15 laps or so is when we might see these drivers come down pit lane. And you can expect 4 tire stops all night long. I don't think anybody's going to flirt with the 2-stop idea. There's a lot of little battles all over the racetrack. We're going to try to bring you as much of the action as we can. Let's jump around a little bit. Let's bring ourselves back to the point. Out front, showing the way. Man, that walked away with the Premier Racing Center Pole Award here tonight behind the wheel of that Quick Trip #1, Brandon Mathia. Again, walking away almost a 2-second advantage over Abati, who is finally taking the position away from not only Bledsoe, but also Derek Moore. The 16 is going to fall back to 4th here. On board, taking a look back off of the tail end of the 45. Christian Abati, top of the racetrack. Derek Moore behind him. Bledsoe down on the bottom. That iconic number 24 machine right there. Ooh. Low side draft out of the corner. It's going to be to no avail. Now trying to surge back to the inside once again. Bledsoe trying to hold on to the position, but I believe that outside run will have the momentum that he needs. He will have the opportunity to stick and move and make the pass. We're going to take a look off the front end now of the Harbor Freight. Tools, number 16, Fast Ford Mustang, the fastest Ford in the field here tonight. Derek Moore qualifying 3rd, currently running 4th as we watch Mathia step away in the distance as the sun sets. He's trying to set sail in this field. He's trying to set the bar, set the mark, set the pace of tonight's race. There you can see the lights just slowly starting to come out. Ooh, a little bit of a moment. Moore had to throttle almost into the outside wall. Did you hear him have to throttle the car there? Just little moments. Mean, massive momentum. Got on the gas, off the gas, back on the gas. Those are the moments you have to try to avoid during these Xfinity runs, especially here at Kansas. When you get back in the gas, you kind of just want to have that gradual squeeze back, full throttle. You don't want to have to lift. Sometimes you do. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, highly contested battle on the racetrack. That's going to introduce Nick Burlow into the mix. Burlow sitting right about, looks to be about 3/4 of a second. I believe it is going to be about 3/4 of a second behind This tight little battle. Let's go back to Dave Gage. Gage making some headway on Wiggins, looking to the inside of the racetrack, not quite able to get there just yet. Gage back to the bottom of the racetrack looking for the position. Will he have it? Yes, he will slide up the racetrack on the exit of turn 4 here. Gonna grab that spot away. Big run to the outside. The Hot Wheels number 41 of Argo Bright making some moves up 3 positions from where he qualified. Argo Bright starting to head to the front. Side by side now as Argabright tries to take the position away from Wiggins, who is slowly falling back through the field here in this mid portion of the run. We should expect to see green flag pit stops within the next, I would say, 10 laps. About lap number 35 is where I think I'd be calling my driver on the pit road. We'll see if that holds true. 27 laps into tonight's pit boss at 177. Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. Clean and green so far. Let's head up front. Let's take a look at the battle between these 4 drivers starting to heat up now. Bledsoe, Monty, Derek Moore, Nick Burlow has arrived. So what do you do? I mean, do you change strategies? If you're one of these 4 drivers here, Mathia out front. Clearly out front. Almost a 2-second advantage. You're mired right here in traffic. I don't want to say you're being slowed down, but just kind of know where to go, right? Can't really make the big run, can't really make the moves right now. The older tires are starting to come into effect. The lap of grip. These drivers just not making the move right now. When do you pull the trigger? Do you try to come to pit road maybe 2 to 3 laps earlier? Right? You know you got enough fuel. Why not pull the trigger maybe 2 to 3 laps early in the race? Try to make that up in the long run throughout the rest of the night. I don't know, these drivers may be trying to make this thing on just a 2-stopper here. If you can get them down to lap 45, lap 90, into the night. Alan Bledsoe able to separate himself just a little bit. We'll watch the battle for the 3rd and final spot on the podium here tonight from Kansas Speedway. You're watching the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series, the Pit Boss 177, brought to you by Premier Racing Setups, the longest running and continuing operating setup shop here with iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you're looking for the best, doesn't matter what you drive, you can find some speed over your competition. Get the edge with Premier Racing Setups. So Andrew McConville going to be the first driver to pull the trigger on the visit to pit lane. Came down 4 tires and fuel. McConville going to fall off of the lead lap. He's going to be the first driver to pit lane. This could be very big. We're going to have crew chiefs watching. We're going to be watching the timing and scoring charts. See if there's any big, noticeable, something that stands out, right? He's gonna be faster, but if he's 3-4 seconds faster, that's gonna be very noticeable, and crew chiefs are gonna come down the road rather quickly. Timms and Zach Miller going at it. Let's take a look side-by-side battle for the U.S. Army. Number 38, top of the racetrack with Timms on the bomb. Slides up the track right on entry to turn number 1. Timms trusting in the fact that the 38's going to give him enough room, and they did. Those drivers will make their way down the back stretch back to the battle here between Alex Wiggins and now Carlos Ramos. Ramos on a move here tonight, one of your biggest movers of the race. Ramos up 8 positions from where he qualified, now sitting in 9th. Alex Wiggins going to head to pit road, the 99 Ford Mustang to pit lane. And how about TJ Grober, the Sim Magic 18 machine, right here lurking in the background. He's had a solid run and a solid night so far here tonight as well. Tell you what, let's jump on board with Grober as he works the wheel behind Ramos. You can see drivers having to throttle it out of turn number 2. And I don't know, I really like that line that Wiggins is running, right? You are taking a little further distance around the racetrack, but I think you can hang on to the tires a little bit more. I don't think it's as abrasive as trying to run that bottom lane down there. And you can see Ramos is quick, but he can't do away with Wiggins as the momentum down the front stretch and the back stretch does pan out and pay off for the 11. Top side of the racetrack, digging hard once again. Wiggins looks to keep the spot. Wiggins still side by side, hanging out on that high side, man, unwilling to relinquish the position. He's going to make him work for it. He's going to get the job done eventually, but made him really work for it. Carlos Ramos will now move into the 7th position. Wiggins sits in 8th. And see, we were off on our fuel mileage, race fans. We said about lap 35, these drivers easily making it to lap 40. So how far do you stretch it? There's Dave Gage to pit road. Nick Burlow to pit road as well. Now we should see drivers starting to hit pit lane. But McConville and Wing, pit road, 6 and 10 laps prior. Last time around, McConville, 31.72 race leader. Mathia, 31 or 32.90, 1.2 seconds faster with the fresh tires. Field to pit lane. Daniel Jensen's going to keep his number 4 machine out on the racetrack. Into the top spot for the first time here tonight. New race leader for the first time in the pit boss, 177. Daniel Jensen going to extend the fuel run. He's going to stay out. TJ Grover as well as Zach Miller, Brian Chanelski, and Anthony Shook still on the racetrack, yet to hit pit lane, and Gruber going to come to pit road this time. Oh, this is going to get close between McConville and Mathia. Let's take a look here, and there it is. Andrew McConville going to leapfrog him. He's going to gain the position, looking to go to the point. 4 of Daniel Jensen wins some trouble. He's going to head to pit road this time around, give up the race lead. And much older tires. McConville's not going to put up much of a fight. But there you can see it momentarily did have the race lead. Now, your premier racing setup. Full award winner. Fastest driver in the field. Getting the pit stop done. Reclaiming the top spot behind the wheel of the Quick Trip. Number 1 Chevy Camaro. Brandon Mathia. Again to the point. Back across the line. Lap number 43 goes on the board. Looking up and down pit road, looks like everybody has been clean and clear. 1 round of green flag pit stops behind us here tonight. From Kansas Speedway in the Pit Boss 177, you're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. Glad you could all join us here tonight. We're just about a third of the way through. We have been clean and green all night long. Mathia continues to pile on. The advantage at the front of the field. Derek Moore going to securely sit in second behind the wheel of that Harbor Freight's Ford. Followed by a handful of Fords. Again, McConville. Nicholas Wing right there, 3rd and 4th, battling with Christian Abate, the Red Mist podcast. 45. Chevy Camaro looking to make up some positions, get himself back onto the podium. Watch, and there it is. That quick, that easy. Here comes previous race winner Nicholas Wing. Wing looking to the inside. There's just something about that iconic scheme as well. That Hauveline, that Texaco Hauveline 99, just, man, I'm telling you. You know, we're going to love on this thing just a little bit. I don't care what you say, man. That thing right there brings back a lot of memories. Brings back a lot of memories about a lot of great racing in a great era of racing. Handful of laps away from the halfway point. All the drivers still on track. Everybody still running here tonight. Cody Schultz with some issues. 6 laps down tonight. Listed as the only driver off the lead lap. He's going to be praying for a lucky dog. Let's go to the battle. On the speedway, Daniel Jensen, TJ Grover going at it for position. The 4 and the 18 going to mix things up. That's going to be for 11th and 12th on the racetrack. And Jensen with 2 lap pressure tires, so he's going to make short work of that Sim Magic 18 of Grover as Grover falls back to 12th. Still a net gain of 6 positions here tonight for that 18, so make no mistake about it. He's heading in the right direction. Daniel Jensen, he's down 7 spots from where he qualified. He's going to look to try to get back to the top 5. Meanwhile, biggest mover of the night right here behind the wheel of that Texaco Hauveline number 99 Ford Mustang, Nicholas Wing. digging bottom of the racetrack through 3 and 4, back across the stripe, trying to chase down Christian Abati. Alan Bledsoe with a moment just about a lap ago. He's going to fall back to 5th. All right, so we've had green flag pit stops right around that lap 35 to lap 40 mark. So we're looking at drivers trying to make it to about lap 80 here before we see our second round of green flag pit stops. So a very clear-cut night on when you're coming to pit road, when you're taking the tires. Not going to be a lot of strategy involved here tonight. Unless you decide to play games with either this second stop or maybe both. Well, it's going to be just this one stop here. And I don't know. I'm looking at. I'm trying to look at Andrew McConville. Let's go back here with the 10 machine. Let's highlight this driver while we talk about him. And Andrew McConville with a good solid run so far here tonight, making some headway. Up 7 positions from where he qualified. Tail end of the field. Final row in the starting lineup. So he's definitely went the right direction. But he pitted on lap 30. If he pits on lap 60, that means he's not going to have it up. Right? Let's try to do this math here. Right, lap 80 easily gets you to the end of tonight's race, running 38 laps. Drivers that came to pit road on lap 40, they're going to be able to employ that strategy, but does anybody come a little sooner? We've seen it stretch to 42 laps. I don't know. Look for McConville to make some moves, though. I'm telling you. Alex Wiggins going to dig on the bottom of the racetrack with National Championship wrapped Michigan Wolverines Chevy Camaro. Hunting the top 5 once again now, just needing 2 more positions to get to top 5, up 3 spots from where he qualified for the moment. Alex Wiggins moves to 7th. Here comes Gage on the bottom of the racetrack. Right at the halfway point tonight in the Pit Boss 177. Let's head to the front and give you a little bit of driver highlights and spotlights here tonight. Your mid-race report crossing the line, showing the way out front. He's been out front for the majority of tonight's race. Walked away with the Premier Racing setup. Pole award and continues to pound the pavement. Out at the front, Brandon Mathia leads tonight's race, sitting in the top spot. Sitting back in second, qualified in third. The Kansas native looking to do something here at the hometown track. Looking to have a big night here tonight with the Harbor Freights 16. Find a way to reel in your race leader. We're going to watch to see if Moore can get the job done. Back in third here tonight, up 2 positions from where he qualified. The Red Mist Podcast 45 of Christian Abonzi rounds out your podium. Sitting back in the 6th position, one of your biggest movers of the race here tonight, Nicholas Wing, gonna highlight last week's race winner from Kern County, the Owasso, Michigan native, coming south, looking to walk away with another podium finish. We'll see if he can get the job done here tonight, up 8 spots as well. The Columbia, South Carolina naval officer getting it done, Lieutenant Carlos Ramos, standing salute as Ramos works his way around the track. The 97 gonna look to the bottom, trying to pick up a position from Dave Gage. So watch out for this 97. I think he's going to creep into the mix by the end of tonight's race. That's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights as we head back to the battle. And finish off your mid-race report with some house cleaning. 18 drivers took to the field here tonight that we've still got. All 18 out there on the track, but only 17 remain on the lead lap. And Andrew McConville will head to pit road. McConville back on the pit lane. Scheduled stop here for that 10 crew. So, looks to be about another 20 laps here. We should see the majority of this field begin to trickle onto pit road. As we take a look at the track here at the vantage point of the entry of turn number 1. Field spread out quite a bit here as we enjoy a long green flag run here from Kansas Speedway, lap number 63 on the board. The 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance with the Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. Gonna jump around again, try to find some more battles for you out there on the racetrack. Dave Gage just in front of Carlos Ramos. Both of these drivers yet to make their second stop of the night. You know, really like the camera shots there through the center of the corners. You really get an idea of the different lines that these drivers do run here at Kansas Speedway. You can find speed up next to that outside wall. You can find speed down at the bottom. You can find speed about a half a lane off of the bottom. There's a lot of options, a lot of places to run. Here at Kansas, you don't have to just stick to catfishing or ripping the lip. At the top of the speedway, we got a lot to move around with, a lot on the line here tonight as drivers enter in. The second half of the season, we're going to see how they go here as lap 66 underway. Doug Argabright going at it here. Daniel Jensen in the Ford just in front of the Hot Wheels. Number 41. He's shown some flashes, right? Shown some flashes of speed here tonight. He just keeps kind of ending up. Keeps ending up in the back. That was a big hit. That was a big, solid hit for the Ford. Daniel Jensen all but tore up after that one. We'll look to see what the damage is on the side of that 41 machine of Argabright. A little bit of contact to Argabright way up the racetrack. There may be some problems with the right side of that machine. Daniel Jensen onto pit road. The 4 and the 41 going to come together. Bearing the brunt of that battle was the 4 of Jensen. Argabright will continue on, but the damage down the right side may be a little bit too much. We'll see how things continue to pan out and play out here tonight. Lap number 69 on the board. Across the line, Alex Wiggins going to lead Dave Gage and Carlos Ramos inside of your top 10, finishing it off with that 41 of Doug Argabright. Already less than 50 to go here tonight in the pit boss. 177 for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. We have been clean and green all night long. Straight green flag racing here tonight. Is still awaiting handful of drivers for their second stop, and Jensen's day is done. Crew chief down off of the box, and they're gonna close the hood and push the 4. Behind pit wall, so an early exit here tonight for Daniel Jensen as we continue the long green flag run under the lights, finishing things off in the pit boss of 177, looking to smoke the field like a pit boss. Brandon Mathia, 2-second advantage. Let's find another battle. Let's see what we can see. And, well, we're going to stay right here. This is going to be your biggest and only battle for the moment. 99 and Nicholas Wing, bottom of the racetrack, trying to keep his Ford Mustang inside of the top 6. Alex Wiggins coming on strong here at the end of this green flag run. So has that 11 figured something out? Last time around, Alex Wiggins was one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack. 32.85 last time around. Race leader Mathia with a 32.94. So Wiggins about a 10th faster than your race leader. Wiggins, Wing, Gage, and Ramos all right here, running 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on the speedway. Lap 76 now goes on the board as Mathia continues to dominate here tonight, now out to 1.3 seconds of an advantage, possibly giving up a little bit of time. Maybe saving a little bit of fuel to stretch this thing an extra lap or two, ensure that he has the fastest tires out on the racetrack after the round of green flag pit stops. Remember, the longer he stays out, the more drivers are going to be off of the lead lap when he does hit pit road. So kind of just padding that advantage. '99 is going to call it to pit road. Nicholas Wing going to bring the Mustang down to pit road, and Mathia continues to lose some time here. Let's go back up front. Running up on lab traffic to 38. U.S. Army machine top of the racetrack. Matthias gonna clear him down into turn number 1 easily, but look behind Derek Moore. The Harbor Freight's number 16 machine running the high side, keeping the momentum up, tracking down your race leader, Brandon Matthias. And this is the first time we've seen anybody track down Matthias. And there it is, move to pit road. Matthias to pit road. Moore gonna call it to pit road. Was able to adjust and head to pit road with your race leader. Christian Avanti will stay out on the racetrack. The Red Mist Podcast 45 will reclaim the top spot. Gonna put yet another handful of laps led into his back pocket. Alan Bledsoe, Nick Burlow, Carlos Ramos, and Doug Argabright all stay out on the racetrack. John Timms looking to do the same. And Avanti quickly to pit road. That's going to hand the race lead over to Alan Bledsoe for the first time in a long time. We've mentioned this driver's name. Bledsoe just a rough go over that first initial green flag run. That first contact with the outside wall. It's just trouble and hasn't been able to recover. Has really just spent this second run just battling his way inside of the top 10. Coming to pit road right behind the 5. 24, Bledsoe still in the race lead. Carlos Ramos will inherit it as he stays out on the racetrack. Less than 40 laps of racing remain here tonight. The pit boss 177. These drivers have been absolutely on it here tonight. And how about a job well done for the crew chiefs? Right, tonight's race started under sunlight conditions. Worked and transitioned its way into sunset dusk, if you will, and under the lights. We're going to finish things off here tonight. Zach Miller, through 3 and 4. Will he stay out? Yes, he will. Miller going to look to try to lead a lap here tonight. Brian Ternowski hot on his trail. Ternowski looking for a position. Is staying out, extending this fuel run. But fresh tires lurking in the background, closing in quickly. Brandon Matthias in that quick trip number 1 machine. Back into podium position already and quickly to the high side. He's going to make short work of the duo yet to hit pit road, and Matthias will reclaim your race lead. He's opened up that race lead as well. Back to Moore, now back to almost a 2-second advantage. Matthias absolutely golden on pit road. You see moments ago, the 77 of Timms rejoining the racetrack. Timms listed 1 lap down for the moment, 38, as well as the 28 going to come to pit road. They're going to race their way onto pit lane. Meanwhile, back out front with your race leader, Matthias. Showing the way, more Avanti, Bledsoe, and McConville round out your top 10. McConville under fire for the moment, able to step away. Alan Bledsoe out front. So Bledsoe's found a way to get back inside of the top 5. The 24 relevant at the end of tonight's race once again. So everybody can make it from here. Everybody can finish out the race without having to come back to pit road. Will we see a late race caution shake things up here tonight? This is your closest battle on the track. McConville and Wiggins with Wing in the background. You can see that 99 Texaco Havoline machine. Last week's race winner from Kern County's Raceway. Looking to follow it up with a little bit of momentum. In my opinion, you could hear him in the post-race interviews last week a little bit cumbersome about the race win. Didn't really hold a lot of stock in it. But after following up a performance like that with a great run like this here at Kansas, I think things are going to look a little bit different for that driver on that 99. 2-3 wide with lap traffic down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 99 of Wing will take the position from McConville. He's now going to set his sights on Alex Wiggins, who has stepped out to about a 1.5 second advantage. We'll see if Wing can run him down. Another tight little battle right here. Let's go back a little further in the pack. Positions inside of your top 10. 9th and 10th on the racetrack. Dave Gage, Doug Argerboy going to begin their battle to the end of tonight's race. Lap number 89 on the board. With less than 30 laps remaining this time by, drivers are going to have to start setting their sights on picking up those final few positions. Dave Gage just gave up a spot to Argerbright. That's going to move Argerbright into 9th. Gage back to 10th. Down 4 spots from where he qualified. Not the direction you want to be heading at the end of a race. You want to be going the opposite direction, but right now it looks like a little bit of problems for that 404. More importantly, I think the big problems are going to be for this. Casey's number 10 of Andrew McConville. He was last to pit road back on lap number 60. He's going to have to pit in pit lane, and there it is. And he's going to give up a ton of track position, a ton of time, and he will fall off of your lead lap. I can all but guarantee it. Let's head back here once again with Nicholas Wing as Nick Burlow starting to close in. Wing unable to do away with that 38 of Zach Miller, who is listed off of the lead lap. Fresher tires for the 38. Making it a little tough for Wing to get bumped. Burlow says he's going to try his hand at the high side. He's going to go side by side for position. Look to maintain the gap off of the corner exit, and there it is. Burlow gonna move to 6th. We'll see if he can make any headway with the lap traffic in front of him. Man, these drivers absolutely flying out here tonight. But with 25 laps to go, this man right here, he has led the most laps. He started from the front row after snatching the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award. He's got the fastest lap of the race, looking to just check one final box here tonight, and that is race winner Brandon Mathia. Commanding Racing. Yes, it's under 1.5 seconds, but we haven't seen anybody truly close in and give him a run for the money? Will we see it on this final green flag run? 24 to go, 23 when we cross the line. Let's jump back again. Let's go to the battle between Arga Bright and Wing. Machines under Argabright carrying our Toyota Care. Onboard camera here tonight, going to stay in the tire tracks, keep it wound up. Look at the gains through the corner. Woo! That thing wound up at the top side of the racetrack. We'll jump inside for a moment. Oh man, I'm telling you, these two guys, absolutely mixing it up side by side, and Arga Bright gonna make the pass on the high side, heading down into 3. Just like that, moving into position. Arga Bright gonna pick up that 7th spot. A handful of drivers still jockeying for positions on the racetrack. No real big battles to speak of. We've got some close things brewing. Ramos and Grover, they're getting close to a battle. The race lead is getting closer as well. I'll tell you what, let's go up with more, guys. Can we get... There we go, right there. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. This is why I love you guys. You ask and you shall receive. There it is. Wonderful work from everybody here in the production booth. Big tip of the cap to all of the drivers and teams allowing us to put these amazing camera shots on board with you here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Right around the corner from closing this thing on out. Will we see it remain under green flag conditions? And there it is. He's getting bigger and bigger in that 16's windshield. Matthias, one of the fast drivers week in, week out, but yet to visit victory lane. Will the 16 reel him in and pick up his 3rd win on the season? And if he's into the outside wall like that, very much more, it ain't gonna happen anymore for more. There's a little too much more. Sorry. $18 to go. Across the stripe, Brandon Matthias still out front. Just under a 1-second advantage. You can see the majority of the field has migrated to that high lane. That does seem to be the preferred lane. But a big ask too, will lap traffic become a factor at the end of tonight's race? Carlos Ramos and Dave Cage gonna go at it. Cage looking to keep the 9th position as Ramos sitting in 10th. A little bit of contact with the outside wall for that 21 of Anthony Shook. So with drivers battling side by side, running a little bit off pace from your race leader, how quickly will Matthias close in? How quickly will Moore regain the momentum? Here it is, now a half a second. Man, here we go. Here we go. And I think these drivers at the front, I think Matthias may be methodically saving a little bit of fuel here. I mean, they're going to be right on the outside of that fuel window. They're going to have to run right at 41 42 laps to get to the end of tonight's race, so it's right there at the cusp of that fuel window. Has Matthias given up the race lead, given up the gap on purpose? As the 16 crew paid attention to the fuel mileage, to the fuel usage, right? It's not always about the fuel mileage. It's more about the fuel usage. If you run a lap at 75% throttle, in those moments and times, you should be running 100% throttle. If I do that for 2 laps, how much fuel does that save me? Does that save me a half a lap? Does it save me a full lap? How many laps do I have to do that? Or when I'm running in somebody's draft, can I lift out, save a little fuel? How much can we make on the fuel usage that will give me more fuel mileage? And that's why we say race car drivers are some of the most skilled, fine-tuned athletes that you'll find. Being able to feel a fraction of an inch of a difference on a throttle is astonishing. And somehow these drivers figure out that fine line of what they need and what is too much. But now with the company behind you, if you're Matthias, what do? Do you stick to any kind of strategy that you have going on, or do you go back, hammer down to the end of this thing? Do you try to force more into a rabid chase? Maybe try to force the 16 to run himself out of fuel by trying to run and keep up with you. There's a lot of different strategies when it comes to the end of these very close fuel window races. Tim Sternowski, Miller, McConnell, Anthony Shook, all drivers that can make it to the end of tonight's race, not a shadow of a doubt. However, every one of those drivers are off of the lead lap. They will need is a hot dog, a taco, or a sandwich? Well, it depends. If the bread is, well, no, because you have soft tacos, don't you? That's a good one, Mr. Maffin. So with 10 laps to go, I think these race leaders have pretty much laid their bet, right? I think they're staying out. I don't think they're going to be heading to pit road. And that's going to be an unfortunate circumstance there for Tim Sternowski, Miller, McConville, and Shook. They're not going to be afforded the opportunity to get themselves back on the lead lap unless we see a late race caution. And the way things have oh my goodness. The way things have played themselves out here tonight, I don't foresee any race caution. Not unless there's some debris out there we don't quite know about. Haven't quite seen, but I don't foresee this thing being slowed down one bit by a single caution here tonight. What an amazing run, what an amazing night here from Kansas Speedway. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation and make sure you drop them the thumbs up. Clean green flag racing, 118 laps in the official scheduled distance. We are down to just 7 to go without a single problem here tonight. So before you go, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000. Show these drivers the love and drop thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself or anybody else back at the headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every time you stop by, without you, there would be no us. And looking to give us one heck of a run to the end. 1-2 on the racetrack. Race win. On the line. Race win. Up for grabs. Mathia win the position. Moore has been hounding him. Moore has run him down from 2 seconds back. Keep that in mind as well, race fans. Mathia more than likely saved a little more fuel. Was it a cat and mouse game? You know, these are the things that we ask ourselves, especially as a former driver. But I look at situations like this as, I think he's okie dokie, is what I call it. It's when you give a driver a little bit of false sense of hope, right? You know, you don't necessarily have to slow up, but you know, if they run too hard, it will make them run out of fuel. You let off a little bit, you let the gap close for a lap or two, and you let off a little more, and then it looks like you're methodically catching me, right? Looks like you're gaining and gaining. And woo! Coming to 3 to go, they are mixing it up. And if that's what Mathia was doing, he better go. And who knows, Abati might be sitting in the catbird seat. I mean, he is 7.5 seconds back, but if something happens here between your top two, he gonna be looking pretty. Off of turn number 4, coming across the stripe this time by Popsicle Sticks at the flag stand. Just 2 to go here from Kansas Speedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. Flag to flag racing here tonight, and Moore has got it done. High side wins out. Derek Moore takes the race lead with just about 2 miles remaining in the pit boss 177. We're going to go back side by side. Add a 4 more with the advantage across the stripe. White flag flies. Final lap here tonight in the pit boss 177. Will we see another attempt at a pass for position? Mathia losing ground. Moore with the point. Moore with the advantage. What will Brendan do? Brendan gonna pack it down to the bottom of the racetrack. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Mathia will not have enough. He'll pound the outside wall and across the line. Race winner for the 3rd time here this season. Derek Moore gets it done at the end. Oh my. Spoiler alert. Oh my goodness. Woo. Man, oh man. Heading back to victory lane for the 3rd time in 6 weeks, Derek Moore is on an absolute tear here in season number 9. Walking away with the checkered flag here tonight. He's going to give the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show. Sold out, packed house once again. Here with the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series, we're going to step away, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And backtrack side at the conclusion of tonight's Pit Boss 177. Clean and green all night long. What a race, what a night. And we're going to dive right into things. Let's see if we can have a few words with the man that walked away in third here tonight, back on the podium once again. Let's get a few words with that Red Mist Podcast 45 driver. Christian, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Hey Dave, how you doing?
Pretty good for a Wednesday. I mean, can't be that bad, right? I mean, hump day's over with. Had a great race to watch, so I mean, can't be that bad.
No, definitely not. I mean, this group never fails to put on a good show.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, speaking of a good show, you had a good showing here tonight. You qualified inside of the top five. Walk away with a podium here. Gonna give yourselves a good points finish. With this being the halfway point in the season, and how are you looking at the rest of the year? You got a little bit of ground to make up in the point standings.
Yeah, I don't know how if the points are going to shape out for me this season. Missed two races earlier on, and I know I'm going to miss one later on in the season. So at this point, just trying to have some fun and take a win when I can. Tonight, I don't think that was going to be this was going to be one of them. I think I probably maximized my performance for today. I mean, Allen had a mistake on the first pit stop, and I think that ended up being the gap at the end there. So that kind of looked out there. I mean, kind of robbed us from a bit of a battle, but race is a race. But yeah, just ran as best as I could. Was trying out every line. Not super confident with this track. I mean, I know I say that and finished on the podium, but I was trying top, bottom, and I don't know. I think I was just running like the same time every time, every lap. So
Yeah, well, Kansas, it can be one of those tracks that it's kind of hard to find times sometimes. I know that sounds a little awkward to say, but you can be fast on the bottom one lap and be just as fast at the top the lap following it. So Kansas, one of those. For me, it's always been a tough little tricky track, but you guys make it look easy out there. Christian, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
just as always, Dave, thank you for putting on the broadcast. It's always good to be able to watch these back, and sure anyone tuning in was able to watch a good show tonight. Thanks to ASMR for putting these races on. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be able to do these things. So it's good fun to come out and have this organized group. So it's clearly good racing. So having a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, just shout out to the Rhythmus podcast and my teammates. Andy McConville, he ran an alternate strategy tonight. Didn't really work out, but he had fun. He had fun doing it, something different. And then obviously, congrats to Derek on the win today. That was a big comeback win for him.
Well, Christian, again, my friend, until we meet again, as always, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Find a few words for the man that walks away third here tonight. And we're going to move right along the list. Let's talk to tonight's pole sitter. He led the most laps. He had the fastest lap of the night, but gonna come up just a little shy. Let's see if we can grab a word or two with the man that walked away second here tonight. Brendan, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one, huh?
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I don't know. I tried babying it. I knew long run was gonna be tough. It was a super tight car, and somehow I still chewed it all up. Had I don't know what I was thinking there at the end. I should have raced him harder, probably. Maybe used a little bit of bumper, but I'm a
Well,
nice guy.
Well, do you think maybe extending that second stop all the way out to maybe lap 80? Did you have enough fuel for maybe two more laps? Because it looked like you came down to pit road the first time, lap number 40. Do you think maybe if you had those extra two laps of tire, that maybe it could have possibly made a difference?
I actually don't think so. I think I had to go right when I did. I think the only thing I could have done differently that would have probably won me the race was go a lap sooner and hope that he dragged it out another lap, um, to net that time that you gain by pitting that one lap. It actually does help out a ton. So, I had to do anything differently, I would try that, I guess. His long run pace was really good. I knew that after the second stint there. I tried to baby it, and I was just so tight, and I couldn't figure it out. I was trying everything. I don't know if you see me. I was high, low, middle. Couldn't figure it out. So
You were definitely searching around the racetrack looking for a little bit of speed, man. Nights like these, they're a little tough to swallow at the moment, but they always build onto the great potential in the future. Brendan, you're one of the fast drivers week in, week out. We'd expect to see you battling for podium spots and race winning uh, nights. Been accustomed to talking to you, so again, a class act as always. Gonna walk away with second here tonight. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
yeah, always you first for throwing together a great broadcast and giving me the ability to share what little talent I do have with people that might not be familiar with the fact that I can race a little bit out there. Then all the admins that throw this league together, all my teammates down, Alan, TJ, and Shock Anthony. Um, Dad for watching. I don't know. My brain's all distorted. I still can't believe I lost it, but we'll see you next week, and hopefully I can get it done then.
Well, Brendan, we look forward to catching up with you next week, man. We're gonna be turning left and right next week at Circuit of the Americas, so we'll see how your road course racing skills are. But until then, my friend.
I won't be talking to you then.
Well, you never know. You see, this is what I like to tell people. See, you go in there thinking you're not going to be able to do anything, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at the front, and you're like, "How in the?" But you know what? You take it. You know what I mean? So you
Oh yeah,
never know.
maybe
The
I could
racing
back in
gods
on
might
one
have
there.
a present for you. You never
Yeah,
know.
I might have to hit you up in 2 weeks. That might be the next time you talk to me.
Well, until then, my man, stay safe and of course, keep it fast.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you go. Good to get a little bit of laugh out of the dejected Brendan Mathia. It's a tough one to swallow. Leading the most laps, being the fastest driver on all night long. Fastest single lap, walked away with the pole position. Man, losing it on the last, not even 2 laps, not even lap and a half, about a lap and a third. Tough break. Brendan Mathia will walk away in second, and that's going to lead us right along into victory lane. Post race celebrations winding down for just a moment, so we're going to steal a quick little second here. Let's get a word from race winner Derek Moore in victory lane behind the wheel of his fast Ford Mustang. Derek never gets old to put this Harbor Freights machine in victory lane.
Oh hell no. That was a crazy race. I certainly did not go into this race thinking I was gonna win it.
Well, let's talk about the pit stops, okay? Coming to the end of that the first round of pit stops, you kind of reeled Mathia in. Then we seen it unfold at the end of tonight's race. You reeled him in, caught him, made the late race pass to get the race win. What went through your head as you were catching him the first time? Did it give you confidence going into those final handful of laps?
Oh yeah. I kind of dropped the ball on the first half of that first run, and then I found myself on the high side, and I kind of found a little groove up there. And I saw that I was gaining, I got back around Christian, I got back around Bledsoe. And then I don't remember how exactly the cycle worked out, but I came back out, and so I ran the bottom for a few laps, and then I went back up to the high side, and I was watching, like, Brendan had crazy good short run speed. Like, he fired off so fast. But then, yeah, once the run wore on, I don't know if he just couldn't manage the tires or if he couldn't quite find the groove up high. But I was able to, and I was just hitting my marks, and I know I was gaining him like a tenth or 2/10 every lap. It seemed like, um, and so at that time, it was like 3-second lead, and I'm kind of doing quick mental math, and I'm thinking, man, this could happen. It'd be awful cruel to rip one away from him again late in the race like I did at Atlanta, but I just kept my head down. He called out when he was pitting, that last pit stop, and so I made sure I came in with him. It was kind of a late pit entry for me, but I made it work. And then again, he fired off well, and then I just had to grind. And then I caught up to him, and he was kind of running a bit of a he was kind of parking in front of me going into 3, trying to slow me down a little bit on my entry, which was working well. But I had thoughts of pulling a Carl Edwards and just sending it down into turn 3 on the last lap, but then I found my groove again on the high side, and I got next to him and was able to get a run and get around him. But yeah, no, dude, that was a crazy good race. I'm really happy with the way that race went down. I didn't make too big of a mistake. I hit the wall several times, but yeah, no, that was, props to Brendan. He's super fast. I picked him to win today. So I'm just happy that we had a good race, and it was clean and it was close. So
Yeah, definitely a great race here tonight. Not just in the aspect of caution free, but some great racing action for positions all throughout the field, and especially the thrilling run that you gave us to end things here tonight and pick up your 3rd win of the season. Derek, you know the drill. We're going to step back, and the mic is yours.
I just, as usual, I want to thank the admin for putting on these races every week. Thank you for broadcasting. Thank the guys on the track. No cautions is awesome. I wouldn't have guessed that to happen. Thank my steering wheel and my pedals for staying connected this week, and actually being able to run the race unlike last week. Thank my fiance. We're getting married in less than a month, so that'll be fun. And then, thank my dad. We're going go-kart racing Saturday. Hope to do good there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks to my teammates too. Christian ran a pretty good race. I think he's figured out his tire wear on these ovals. And then Andy tried a different strategy. Didn't quite pan out as well as he hoped, but it's always good to try something else and try to shake things up. So just thanks to all those guys, and I just had fun tonight.
Well, man, an amazing job, an amazing run once again. Win number 3 here tonight from Kansas Speedway. We wish you the best in your go-kart racing, and we look forward to trying to catch up with you here in the next handful of weeks. Again, Derek, congratulations on the win, and until next time, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man that parks it in victory lane. Gonna pick up his 3rd win on the year. Derek Moore, absolutely on fire. What a run, what a night here tonight in the Pit Boss 177 for the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. We seen flag to flag action here tonight, completely clean and green. What an amazing night, and what an amazing race. You can hear in the background producers hitting those familiar sounds, so you know it's time for us to run down your unofficial race results in the Pit Boss 177. Walking away trackside here tonight into victory lane behind the wheel of that Harbor Freight's number 16 Fast Ford Mustang. Derek Moore wins again. Brendan Mathia gonna finish back in 2nd. Christian Abati in 3rd, with Alan Bledsoe in 4th. Alex Wiggins will finish out your top 5. 51 of Nick Burlow gonna bring his ride home in 6th, followed by the Hot Wheels 41 machine of Doug Argabright. Texaco Javelin 99 of Nicholas Wing going to finish in 8th, while Lieutenant Carlos Ramos back in 9th. Dave Gage going to finish the race in his PR Taco Palace and Margarita Bar 404 machine back in 10th. TJ Grober 11th, John Timms in 12th. Brian Chernowski back in 13th, and Andrew McConville 14th. Zach Miller going to finish off your top 15. Anthony Schuck, Cody Schultz, and Daniel Jensen will finish off the 18-car field here tonight for the Pit Boss 177. Live from Kansas Speedway, you're watching the ASMR Hauck Designs Xfinity Series. That's going to do it for us. That's going to be just about all she wrote. We're going to cut off the lights and begin to roll up the cords, head on out, get things set up and ready to go for next week's race at Circuit of the Americas. So before we go, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show the drivers some love. Drop the thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself or anyone else. Back at the headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of the dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many different sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. Without you, there would be no us. So again, remember to show these drivers the love and support. Remember to join us week in, week out, 7 days a week. Great racing action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So with all that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.